Hey everyone, it's me again, and I'm here just after 12:30, doing well. Hey, just catching up for the week. Hopefully, I'm not sure whether it's live from the beginning or how this thing is going. Facebook does this big whole thing when you do a live where it screen freezes and then it does this whirly thing, and then you kind of sit there looking really stupid for about 5 or 10 seconds, and you kind of hope that it's going. No matter how many times I do this, it's different every time, and with the issues that we've been having in the last couple of weeks, it's who knows. So if you're managing to get this notification and you're watching me live, welcome. If you're watching it later, hey, thank you very much for supporting me in my continued effort to turn up and be present with the audience that I have. So sorry, I'm still wearing my earrings, just not quite placed properly. Wardrobe malfunction. There we go. It's actually not as cold as it might look with me wearing the sweater, but I went for a run this morning. So it's the first run I've done for about 2, maybe 3 weeks, just because I've been feeling a little bit off, and I decided to just be kind and focus on the things that were really necessary. And one of those things is this event that I decided to enter at the end of November. So it's a cycling event, and as you probably know, I haven't been doing much cycling, so that's kind of my focus. And the running was just getting a little bit hard. I had a bit of a sore hip. So I just thought, I'm not training for anything. So I stopped, and today I went out. It was beautiful. It was just a beautiful day. Partway through, the temperature dropped, and as we're heading for home, the rain came down, and I was frozen by the time I got home. So I jumped in the shower, put the heaters on first before jumping in the shower, put my woolies on, and I'm slowly starting to warm up, but my feet are still really cold. So it's quite bizarre. But outside, there is blue sky, like beautiful blue sky poking through some clouds. So fingers crossed the day gets nicer. Where are we at? Well, I had this live planned to do from when I was out on my walk and my run, but because I got rained on and my phone doesn't like the rain, and because it was actually quite cold, I just came home. So here we are. Today, funnily enough, I didn't realize this is a new one on me. It's World Mental Health Awareness Day. So I feel kind of good that I got out and did that little thing for my mental health, my little run outside, and the dog came with me and she played nicely. She ran the whole way. She didn't stop and drag or anything. We had a couple of little interactions with dogs along the way, which is quite nice. A couple of little stops to just catch up with people that we bump into, and carried on. So I did just over 3K this morning, which was good. I kind of felt really good at the beginning. I'm like, yeah, I'll do 5. And then I got to about 3 and I went, yeah, maybe not. So time to just recognize that sometimes those boundaries need to be enforced. Sometimes we don't have to keep pushing through. Sometimes we do, but more often than not, why are you doing it? So my big thing at the moment is really looking at mindset and the reasons that we do things. And this is part of the program that I'm working on, the anxiety solution, which I'll be launching next year. So I'm kind of everything I do, I'm trying to work out how that's going to fit within that program and how that's actually going to help people. And do people want to be helped? I think they do. The majority of my clients that I see in my clinic, there's an underlying anxiety thing going on. So I figured a program dealing with that will actually help embrace other aspects of health and well-being. So the big question is, did the mental health issue come before the physical issues, or did the physical issues come about because of the mental health issue? And we'll never fully know. I don't think there's any one right way or wrong way. We all pick the way that we want to approach things, and as a naturopathic practitioner, I'm aware that we could give one client with the same get the same information to several different naturopaths, and we're all going to approach it slightly differently. And I think that's fantastic. I think there's no one way to actually treat anything or manage anything. It's all about kind of looking at what's going to work best for you at that time, and understanding how you can bring that into your life, and also knowing that not everything's going to work, not everything's going to be beneficial. There will be some things along the way that we try that you go, it's not really working. No, I don't really like that. Maybe not. I never kind of say to my clients, you have to keep pushing through. You have to keep doing that. If it's not working, let's change it. Let's have a look at how we can change it. Let's reassess it, as you would with anything that you do. So I really want to encourage you to reach out if you do have any questions. And as I said, my website's sort of in the process of being upgraded. So that's the next big thing for the next week, is for me to kind of really get on board with that, so that I can proudly present the new version. At the moment, it's like, oh, I keep getting suggestions to do this and do that, and I get a bit sidetracked. And so what I've decided to do is just press ahead with the format that it's in, and then I can tweak it in the background once I see how it's all working. At the moment, I've got a deadline, I think, of like early November, so I've only got a couple of weeks to do it. So it's quite a big job. I'm really proud of myself this week for being organised. I've got my 2024 little black book, so it looks a bit like this. That's me. I stuck the power on. So this power, actually, quite funnily, was what I bought 20 odd years ago when we got married, or whenever it was. No, it wasn't 20 years ago. I don't know, 2007, whenever that was. And that was on the cake. We had that decorating the cake, and I've had that ever since. So the power's starting to get a bit brittle, and the sticky's not so sticky. So I'm starting to use up stuff that I have hoarded, honestly, since then. I've got stuff that I've hoarded even longer than that. It's terrible. So what I do is I buy this really simple black diary from Kmart. This is not a Kmart plug by any stretch of the imagination, but it is literally a $10 diary, and it's really simple. It has the month in it. It has the day to a page, apart from Saturday and Sunday, which are always split in half, which really annoys me. But anyway, and it has everything I need, and I've used them now for probably about 4 years since I discovered the first one. They changed them slightly, which is a little bit disappointing. They used to have this really cool little reflection bit at the bottom, but that's gone. But it's a really simple format. So what I do is I then go and colour the pages, put everything in, plan out the year, and the minute I start filling in that annual plan, I realise how busy life can be. So once you've got a visual in front of you of the whole year, you can have a look and see where your gaps are. Instead of trying to fit things in, plan the gaps and go, okay, well, I know that I'll have a couple of weeks here. Maybe we look at going on a holiday or a trip or doing something or taking some time off at that point. So I think it's a really important part of mental wellness is to actually have, you don't have to hone it into the minute or the second or the hour even, but just a big picture overview. It works for me. It may not work for everybody. There's lots of ways of doing this. But since I've started doing this, I actually feel a lot, if I start to feel a bit discombobulated, I come back to that, and it really helps me refocus back on the things that I'm doing. The other thing that I've done this week is I finally looked at how to use LinkedIn. So I've actually bought an online course, which I'm really enjoying doing. So it's through a New Zealand woman. Her delivery is a little dry. That's fine. I have no idea what I come across like, so I'm not going to critique that. But really simple stuff. So some of the stuff that she's talking about, I already knew how to do, but it's really good to go over it. And then the rest of it's been great, and actually just learning how to really enhance my LinkedIn profile. So this is something I'm doing with trying to get a little bit more corporate work. So over the next year, I'm looking at trying to hook in and do a few wellness workshops with small to medium businesses. I think not huge big corporates. I don't really need the ones that have got thousands of employees. It's not to say that I wouldn't, but I really like the idea of the smaller teams, the smaller businesses that really do need to look after their teams and make sure they do it, but perhaps lack that big HR department resource that allows them to do that. So that's something that I'm bringing in around with this anxiety solution. That's kind of evolving into a little bit of that kind of program as well. And I've also just signed up for a marketing with a marketing person. So this is something I've been looking out to do for a while, and I know and when we're, as a self-employed person, my money is very tight. Basically, I'm a massage therapist and a naturopath. It's hardly a multi-million-dollar career. So I'm always very cautious about signing up for these things, but I've just done a thing with this woman out of Australia, and I'm really looking forward to actually just honing in a little bit of my marketing and getting a better feel for how I market myself. So if you've got any suggestions on that or things that you'd like to see, please let me know. I'm always open to ideas. I'm not necessarily going to embrace them all, but it's actually really good just to get some feedback. And then the other thing I've been looking at as well, so I've followed another person with their online courses, and they did some training with someone who's also in New Zealand. So I'm really, really keen to support New Zealand-based guidance for this. A lot of our stuff comes out of the US, the UK, and Australia, and that's great, but it becomes exceptionally pricey when you get something that's £2,000. All of a sudden, you're looking at close to $6,000 potentially, depending on the exchange rate. Anywhere between $3,000 and $6,000, it's a significant chunk of money. Whereas if it was 2,000 New Zealand, I don't know, maybe that's a more reasonable amount. But anyway, so that's something I'm really passionate about. So if you've got some favorite marketing people, some business mentor people that you've worked with, it would be great to actually hear about those as well. Like, you know, I'm really looking to kind of start lifting my game just a bit while I've still got working energy and life left in me before I start to think about winding down and retiring to my caravan in the hill. Not that I own a caravan in the hill, but that's the dream. So anyway, hopefully that's not too much of a rant for you. I know it's a little bit me focused at the moment, but that's because I'm really kind of working on what I'm offering you as my audience and my clients and the people that follow me. All of this is about actually kind of supporting you on your wellness journey, on your health story, writing those new chapters for yourself. And, you know, as we get older, I'm now past 50, so I'm very much aware that I feel like this is the prime time to kind of set us up for our future. Our mindset is what is actually going to take us forward into our 60s, 70s, 80s. I strongly believe that the more you can work on your mental strength, you will have a better option within your physical body. And I think it's really, really important to understand how you can own your health. So, you know, if that's your age group, I'm there with you. I'm traveling the journey with you. All right, take care. Got to go. Got clients coming in a few minutes. So have a great afternoon. Hopefully you get outside in the sun. I'm hoping that the weekend's good. And I'll be back next Wednesday with hopefully a little bit more detail and some updates on what's coming out in the next little while. All right. Oh, if you need to reach out to me, by the way, you can give me a call on Wellington 0456978832, email deborah@nourishe.co.nz, or you can message me and comment on Facebook, Instagram, etc., etc. LinkedIn profile, I think, is under Deborah Wright, or Deborah L. Wright, and then there's a Nourish page as well. So we are on there. I'll post those links at some point. And if you feel like following me or joining me or whatever it is that you do on LinkedIn, feel free. Take care. Ka kite.